Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while, about 9 months, but I've been plenty busy in the garden. I've got a lot of things to show you. I'm just going to do a little recap of last year and then we're going to go with it. So let's do it. So just going to show you a few pictures here. These are the white velvety flowers of the black-eyed peas, which produced relatively well. I dried them, consumed most of the beans dry. Here you can see the pods green, but I didn't eat them that way. These are some other variety of beans, very weedy garlic patch as well. Speaking of weeds, can you see where I sowed the onions? Yeah, we're gonna get to that in the future. These are the taros, which I'm still eating. The Tuscan kale that my neighbor gave me. Unfortunately, someone got to it first, and I didn't get to enjoy any of it, so... These are the peppers that my dad gave me that I planted last year. And this is how they're doing this year. So as you can see, the stems are kind of woody, very strong. They've produced pretty well. Got plenty of peppers. They're not doing so hot now, but I think that'll change in the future. Here you can see my pumpkin patch with the beautiful pumpkin flower picture that I love with the 3 bees inside of it. And I still have plenty of pumpkins this year. As you can see, yep, they're doing pretty good. Very reliable, resilient, they're doing great. My pride and joy, the purple sweet potatoes, we got them here flowering. And also these big guys that just decided to show up. These were a few weeks before I collected them all. That was my camera almost kissing the turd there. That's the size of the turd of that caterpillar. Pretty big guy. The patch was full of them, but they just munched on the leaves. Didn't really eat any of the crop, which you can see here. Quite an abundant harvest. That wasn't the only thing that we harvested in the garden. I've also collected some blackberries, which yielded 2.3 kilos of jam that you can see here. It's just as delicious as when we made it about, what, 7 months ago now, and I think we still have plenty to go on until we get a next harvest of blackberries. That's pretty much the cap of the year. Back to the current day, you can see those beautiful stormy clouds in the background there. That one almost looks like a wave. But you can see them, they're very beautiful. The current state of the garden, it's looking okay. Here you can see the cabbages. I've since trimmed those seeds. Or sorry, this is what do they call it? Collard greens? Yeah. Got a little patch of clover going on. I love clover as a weed. I don't mind doing little blankets of clover. Here you can see the peppers. Again, I decided to show them. Beautiful editing skills. I'm walking around with shoes on, but usually I walk around barefoot. This was just for the recording. I wasn't doing any work that day. But you can see the tomatoes that I've recently transplanted here. They're not doing great. They're still a little bit too small for the time of the year. But that was mainly my fault. I should have seeded them sooner. Here you can see the taro, which is quite weedy as well. But I've since gotten to that. So yesterday I did take care of all those weeds. We got more tomatoes here to the left of that field. More tomato plants. That field has since been weeded as well. This is just some chard that's self-seeded. And the flower looks like a weed flower, which is kind of interesting, I guess. This is the sweet potato patch that I've planted from the previous year's sweet potatoes. And yeah, this is for cutting so that I can sow sweet potatoes later, but they've also developed a little bit slowly. The year has been quite humid and cold so far, but things are going to pick up in the future. Here you can see my nemesis, the nutsedge. I think I have both yellow and purple varieties, but I think purple is more common here in the garden. Terrible thing. I hate that plant. We're gonna have to do a video on it in the future, and weeds in general. These are my composting bins that have been producing and feeding the field, which they've been doing that job pretty well. Look at the little bees going. They love these patches. I leave these patches of nitrogen fixing plants. These are just naturally showing up, you know. I didn't sow any of this. We've got white clover, purple clover, vetch, and yeah, I mean, it's just very good plants to have as weeds. Anyway, the bees love that, and they fix the nitrogen. It's great. This is a little carrot patch that I have. Um, oh, more of that nutsedge, which I'm disapprovingly pointing my finger and shaking my fist at to show my discontent at its presence. Yeah, the carrot patch, which is a little bit weedy. I've got 4 rows of carrots, but they're developing nicely. I sowed them in November. They went quite slowly because, I don't know, the slope of this field being north facing in winter, it just doesn't get a lot of energy. And with the temperature, it wasn't great. This one is very weedy, but I've since taken care of that. And these are my fava beans, which have been the crown jewel of this year's crop, basically. As you can see, they're very late now. They've got the chocolate spot disease, but they're producing quite readily, and the pods are pretty good size, pretty nice sized pods. Some of the plants are dead, as you can see. This was a little garlic patch that didn't go too well, even with the covering. I don't know what's going on with garlic. I just have a terrible hard time growing it. These are some beets. Beautiful camera angles there. They're quite weedy. I haven't gotten to them yet, but they're very small, and you can see they seem like they're bolting already. Look at how small they are. I even make the gesture with my hand. Yep. Again, small. Wow, look at that. Some more carrots here. These have been recently weeded, which is now the current state of the carrots that I've showed previously. They're picking up pace pretty well now that it's quite warm. This is the main field here. It's about half of the total field's length. And as you can see, I don't only have fava beans growing there. So I've got fava beans. I'm touching on a big pot again. But I also have corn. Look at that. It's, you know, I'm going to trim it. That's the gesture that the hands are doing. I'm going to trim the corn, you know. It's too dense now, so I'm going to cut the plants. Well, you get the picture. And, yeah, look at that. It's basically I sowed the fava beans first. Then I sowed the corn. I have no idea what I'm doing with the camera right now. Well, look at how productive that plant is. Look at the amount of pods and look at the size of them. Very nice. And that was all fed with a homemade compost. Oh, here's another beautiful shot of going down the hill, shaking the camera. No, that one's great. That one is phenomenal. Some plants that are dead, still with the pods attached. The pods, we'll get to them later, but yeah, oh, look at that shot. Yeah, I'm a cinematographical genius, I know. But the corn is doing very well. I sowed the fava beans first, and then sowed the corn in between the fava bean rows. The idea is that as the fava beans die, which as you can see they are dying, you know, those pods, those little pods are not going to develop anymore. But as the fava beans die, they'll leave the nitrogen fixing roots around, and then the nitrogen hungry corn can take advantage of that. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Some of them have fallen over with the winds and the heavy pods. That one's all twisted, but look at that. That is very productive. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. These have fallen over one of the corn plants. I've got different variety of corns here as well. And all this corn is ancestral to the island. So I got this from an older gentleman that you know, still cultivates the corn. Oh, remember the onions that I talked about? Yeah, I had to transplant them because they were just drowning in weeds when they got a little bit bigger. And they're doing good. Look at that. That's a nicely sized bulb, and we're still not even in summer, so looking forward to that. This is the double row, quite long row of potatoes, and they're doing beautifully. I'm very surprised that they haven't, picked up any disease. Oh, here we go, another beautiful downhill shot walking. Very cinematic. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, look at that. Oh, do I see a little bit of yellow there? Oof. Anyway, clearing this field that I still have plenty of space here to sow more things that I want to sow yielded me this beautiful okay, we're going a little too fast. Yep, I like that. Okay, we have fava beans now. Look at that. These are the fava beans that I've collected that were doing a little bit bad. As you can see, this is the chocolate spot disease. It starts weakening the pods, it opens them up, and makes the seeds inside susceptible to disease. Look at that. Yep, that's no bueno. That's the result of the weather. That's been quite rainy and humid lately, even nowadays, which is good. Last year I complained about the weather not being too good, too dry. But look at that. I still get beautifully sized pods full of fava beans from that. And this is the result of the harvest on the floor. That's my foot for scale. If you want to, Oh yeah, a little editing trick there. Very good. That worked out nicely. And again, foot for scale. That's about 3.5 kilos of fava beans. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got going on today. Or up until today. I definitely want to keep making videos, making more videos of more stuff. I've got a lot of stuff developing here. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you again next time.